said, Tony's here to tell us about what he's been doing at Tameside and how we can learn from them. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me this afternoon. What's my role? Well, I'm a volunteer, like we all are, volunteers, you know, good community people. And I got involved with Neighbourhood Watch some 2 years ago in my own area. I wanted to set up a Neighbourhood Watch scheme. So what I did, got involved, I spoke to our Tameside police, and then I introduced myself to the Greater Manchester Neighbourhood Watch group, and I'm the borough coordinator for Tameside. So at the time it was like, okay, fine, steep learning curve. But so what I'm going to share with you today is the journey that I was on and the benefits to the community. So, Neighbourhood Watch. The word neighbourhood is a very strong branding. When I first, 2 years ago, it was called Home Watch. And when inside about 6 weeks, it was rebranded to the charity. So we had to do a quick. So it's now called Neighbourhood Watch. It wanted to get a image, if you will, a national brand. Because, you know, Home Watch was fine, but people were saying it sounded a bit like, you know, curtain touches and that kind of thing. And there's a lot more to neighbourhood. So, as far as the neighbours go, so what we did, we used things like, we do a newsletter which goes out in the community. Now that can go out on social media, your Facebook, to communicate with people. But you know, we have vulnerable people in our communities, and Neighbourhood Watch, the word neighbourhood, is to do its primary object is to work in partnership with the police, but also to build a community. You mentioned about what the stats of the effectiveness. Well, because it's only really been rebranded for 2 years, it's just come out, it's 14%. Any area that is signed up to the Neighbourhood Watch principle, nationally it's been 14% decrease in crime. So it's quite substantial in such what I call a short time. What are the benefits? Well, the benefits for me that I've seen and testify is the police come out with a scheme which is called the Berkeley Initiative, and it was to look at people in our community who need more support. And also the biggest thing is in our communities today is loneliness. So the Neighbourhood Watch does more than just look at protecting property, safeguarding people, but it's about a whole partnership package of doing other things. Your local doctors, we got engaged with our local doctors. So when we started off, I mean, I'm pleased to say we've got Neighbourhood Watch schemes in the borough that I represent from 900 members to 10. And it's not about volume, it's about quality. There's a road or a lane, Lingard Lane in the north of Ashton, where there's roughly 12 houses, but they're signed up to the Neighbourhood Watch. And that matters. And then across the way at Artsec, they've got like, seriously, big numbers of members. But they're all doing the same thing and they complement each other. So what we did, somebody mentioned about the CCTV. In certain areas, what we had, we actually plotted a map on here, which is the area that we cover. On that map, we've plotted CCTV outside people's homes or where they were in the area. On the GDPR, which I'm sure you already know this quite rightly, it's about detailed personal information. But when you hand this information to the police, because they're covered under GDPR, they know where these personal CCTVs are on houses. And you might, and you're volunteer to do this, but you know, it can be helpful when we've had a burglary or a crime or antisocial behaviour. If that piece of, you know, police knocked on the door in my area, said we've had an incident, it's Can we have a look at your CCTV? Yes, certainly. Only caught the guys actually going right past the house on the way to it, and everything tied up. I will say that, that maybe not being able to use as evidence, because I'm not legally qualified, but what it did do, it helped support the police. And it's this partnership. The key people that we use are the PCSOs, who are our people on the ground. And I would say they're at the cold face of where we are. And you have to get to introduce yourself to the PCSOs and let them know where you are, where you live, because they are the key for me between us, the public, the PCSOs, and their bosses, if you wish, who they report back to, and then an action plan is put together. In our area, and I'm sure it is in other areas, we have what's called a special point of contact, SPOC officer. So we have one in Tameside, based at Hyde Police Station, and Seeley is the person that the coordinator may phone and say, we've had an issue in this area, and help us get a crime reference number. Records are so important, so sometimes you need a crime reference number. But if you get to know your SPOC officer or a coordinator, when you have your meetings, our SPOC officer attends and she gives a presentation on her role. And I think the key thing is, for me, I'm sure the ethos and the ethics of the neighbourhood watch, it's a national thing, but it is about community. We know we've had times of austerity, and we can't just sit back and allow the bad people or the villains to run our community. So what we're looking at is good people like yourselves, volunteers, to step up, register with the team. If you want to become a coordinator, it's not like people are responsibility. Life is responsibility. Some of us take the next step and say, I'll share that responsibility with somebody else. And what happens then is, for me, in your group, in your area, they've just become a neighbourhood. The issues we've dealt with are motorbikes going down the valley, and again the police were very proactive. We have a WhatsApp group. We have one of our PCSOs that's actually attached to that WhatsApp group. I won't say it's for everybody, are you with me, but the volunteers come on. It's very good, Christy. What happened was, for instance, a high efficiency and most expensive vehicle was stolen in Markshead. And what happened was, that went out on WhatsApp. I couldn't believe this. But they actually finished up and they had a drone up and they got the car, it had been dumped in a place called Leeds in Oldham. So that is how quick it works. So once you get that system in place where, something's happening live and you can actually get communication to, they will react. So that is where, how do we get in touch with the police? There's a few websites. This is a brochure that we've produced in Tameside, but it's very easy to brand it, to track it. It's just a front page, but everything else is constant within what the targets are, what the aims. But it's about welcoming people. It's about getting back to that community spirit. And I have to say, the times that I've been involved with this from a standing start, I've been really encouraged about the good people and the really people that I've met. I did a similar presentation up in Rochdale again, and I've done two in Tameside. I think we'll do one in Wigan. But what I want to say to you is, once you tap into that barrel, there's a lot of genuinely caring, concerning people out there. And what we've got to do is engage with. It's a tough role. I'm not saying because policing today is a tough role. I would. What we've done in our area, we've actually financed some signage. Now I know we've got the window stickers there, but we've also done some lamppost signage, which we've just got signed off last week by the local authority because it's quite a few hoops we've got to go through. What's a fit of proper lamppost for one? So they do a stress test on it, but we've got these passed. So what we put these up is on certain areas, certain roads, certain lanes, certain streets, at an area, and we put the actual signage. This is a neighbourhood watch area. And the reply was, well, that's not going to stop the villains. I said, well, I don't know that because we've not tested it yet, you know, it's new. But what it does do, it gives you the badge to say, you know what, in this neighbourhood, we belong to a neighbourhood watch group. It's about the residents as well, feeling that they are part of something that matters and building that reputation. So I think we've got a long way to go to build up where we need to go. As I say, neighbourhood watch is second, just getting to its third year of actually being national. So that's my quick overview. Just give you, if it's any, well, I'm going to leave a couple of these. I'm going to just to these bits, if that's all right. Leave a couple of topics for yourself. The power of social media. It's cheap as chips. If you can get a Facebook page, get yourself. We have a common email that goes through to coordinators. So you know, it's things you can do there. It's just setting these foundations in place. Success stories I liked on the Berkeley because we have vulnerable people in our society, and it is our duty, I believe, to take care of where we can help them. And at Christmas we did a campaign in my area of just 1,000 people, and it was knock on a neighbour. And you know, people had not spoke to each other for a long time, so we dropped in, we put a flyer in, we put cards in, so we'll be calling. I cleared it with the neighbourhood team in my borough, and we had 40 people who considered themselves to be lonely, which I thought was sad. So what we've done is we said, okay, come on board. They haven't got social media, so we physically post a letter through the letterbox for them. And we've got a contact number, and they've also got the SPOC officer. It's a comfort blanket and it works. So all we're here to do is really make life better for everybody and make a community. So that's me. Thanks for the invite, and hope it was useful. Thank you very much, mate.